The new theatre is critical to our future. But the Touchstone campaign also addresses our pressing need for a new production support building, including additional rehearsal space and a scene painting shop.
In the old days at APT, we used to rehearse outdoors, under picnic shelters, in a barn, and in a screened-in veranda, and we were susceptible always to extreme cold, extreme heat, and humidity, and rain, and animals. But the opening of the Bravo Center in 2001 changed APT drastically. We have now one prime rehearsal space. We've heard countless times from the audience over the last 6 or 7 years that the plays seem to have improved, and I can't help but think that the rehearsal space in which we create those plays has a huge effect on the quality of the shows.
Methinks I could deal kingdoms to my friends and ne'er be weary.
Now granted, we still have to rehearse outdoors at times, and it makes it difficult because many times when we are opening these plays and beginning to produce them for you, we're still rehearsing in the daytime on show number 2 and show number 3, and to rehearse outdoors in extreme heat all day and then come in for the evening and do another play in the extreme heat, it can be taxing on the actors. This is sort of a marathon out here at APT, and we have to have the stamina to stand up to that.
And with APT Education, right now we're providing programming for patrons, students, teachers, apprentice training program, as well as training our actors to go into the classroom. Now that's a lot of programming for 2 rehearsal rooms in the Bravo Center, and more often than not we're forced to move into a less appropriate space. Now, I love the tent, I love the picnic shelter, but having a dedicated indoor theater with additional rehearsal spaces would allow us to create a richer, more intimate educational experience.
Now, while the actors are in the rehearsal room building the play, the production crew is literally building the set in the scene shop next door. Now, over the last few years, scene painting has become an increasingly important part of set design. If you think of shows like The Matchmaker that had 4 different locations, each very unique to itself, or Night of the Iguana. Night of the Iguana takes place in Mexico in an old hotel out on the veranda, and the veranda is covered in moss, and all of that moss and all of that distressed wood is paint. And if you can imagine what it's like for me as an actor coming out in my costume into this world that looks real, but it's also the magic for the audience. We really present this completely different place that is not spring green. The problem right now we're experiencing is that the Bravo Center isn't handling the painting needs. And one of the really exciting components of this new production building is that it's going to house a shop dedicated to scene painting.
A new rehearsal hall, a scene painting shop, extra storage, and a 200-seat indoor theatre. The Touchstone campaign will allow APT to take the next great step, to build on those roots planted 29 years ago by the founders.
We chose to name the Touchstone campaign for this project. Now, Touchstone, as you might know, is the very clever fool from As You Like It. He tends to see things as they are, and he's not afraid to speak them, very simply, very honestly. But also a Touchstone, for me, in any kind of adventure or an undertaking, a Touchstone is also a place that you can go back to and think about why you started out on the journey in the first place. It kind of embodies what you decided to be of value. And for us at APT, the amazing language and stories of these great plays has always been our touchstone. When we're in doubt, we go back to the play, the speech, the sentence, the single word out there, and we try to speak them as simply and honestly as we can. And just what an amazing opportunity this new space can be. This new space, the facility, all it entails for us to continue to grapple with this work.
Now we turn to you, our extraordinary audience. As I mentioned before, we've already raised $2.5 million. We just have $1.5 million to go. And if we can raise those funds in the next few months, we can start construction this spring and take possession of a brand new theatre in the summer of 2009. But we need your help.
Please join us in this vital campaign for APT's future. Your gift in any amount will help us reach our goal. And you are welcome to make a pledge that can be made over 4 years. For a $1,000 contribution, your name will appear on a paver outside the new theater building. For $2,000, your name will be inscribed on a plaque on one of the 200 seats in the indoor theater. Gifts of $5,000 or more will be acknowledged on a permanent display in the theater lobby. To contribute to the Touchstone campaign, simply fill out and send in the card that arrived with this DVD.
Please join us in this campaign. Working together, we can take another most exciting step in the history of this extraordinary theatre.